Well, as I mentioned, you were the top Republican candidate to replace him during the first recall effort 3 years ago. So I have to ask, would you run to replace Newsom if the recall petition is successfully pushed to the ballot box?
Now, Kat, why did I anticipate you were going to ask me that question? Let me just remind you, I finished number one, as you pointed out, among all the replacement candidates. There were 46 counting myself. I got 49% of the vote on the replacement side. The next highest person got 9%. I got in with just 8 weeks left in the campaign. In 8 weeks, I raised $27 million, more than all the other replacement candidates combined. California has 58 counties, as you know. You're from here. I carried 57 and 58. The only one I lost was San Francisco, and I lost that by, wait for it, 149 votes. And still, Gavin Newsom, assuming you believe that the election was conducted fairly, and I've never said otherwise, won by about 20 points. And the animating issue then was because of the way Gavin Newsom was at the French Laundry restaurant, having passed onerous mandates for everybody else, masking and social distancing. He wasn't wearing a mask. He wasn't engaging in social distancing. He was with the very people that helped to draft the mandates that he wasn't following, and it really angered people. Well, the pandemic is now receded. That's not an issue anymore. So while I mentioned many of the other things have gotten worse, the crime and the homelessness and people leaving, that issue is no longer on the table. So in my humble opinion, it's going to be very, very difficult to recall this guy. But it's worth doing. I mean, he's going to be in office until January of 2027. You can do a lot of damage between now and then. And believe me, he will.
But my initial question, are you going to run again?
Oh, I guess I didn't answer. I guess I didn't answer the question. Let me answer it this way, Kat. Um, I've been asked this several times by media since the recall has been announced. You're too young to remember this, but there was a fighter named Larry Holmes. He was a heavyweight champion, and he fought a guy named Randall Tex Cobb. In those days, the championship fights were 15 rounds, and Larry Holmes hit Randall Tex Cobb with everything but the kitchen sink, and the man would not go down. So he finished the fight standing up on his feet, and a reporter rushes into the ring and asks this guy, Randall Cobb, as he's bleeding and exhausted, would you fight Larry Holmes in a rematch? And he said no. Larry Holmes couldn't take the punishment. Mm-hmm. So that's my answer. I think I've given enough. I've run for governor. I've run for president. I ran for third grade class president. I did win that race, so I'm 1 out of 3. If I were a baseball player, I'd be batting .333 and I'd be in the Hall of Fame. But this is not baseball. So I think I've given to the office. So the likelihood of my running again is not very great. How's that?
Good answer. I don't